Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching and Pro Wrestling Logic YouTube channels. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. Nope, we talk about pro wrestling and all the good things that come with it. And sometimes the bad things, like modern wrestling. Anyway, this is the AEW review for the let's see, we're talking about the 30th of March, 2022, and obviously we open the show with CM Punk's Cult of Personality, and obviously Max Caster is his opponent with Anthony Bowen's. Punk defeats Caster. Caster's shoulders taped up, and Punk goes after it pretty quickly, hits a backbreaker. Punk comes back with a snap suplex and almost goes to the GTS, but Caster comes out, Fisherman Buster for near fall. Top rope Frankensteiner from Punk brought Caster down following a knee into the Bulldog for near fall. Bowens basically sends or gets in Punk's face from over the top, and then Caster lands a coast-to-coast dropkick for near fall. Goes for the mic drop. Punk rolls out and hits a pile driver. The Anaconda Vice following for the win. Post-match, Punk gestures for the belt and asks and there's an ask of what does that mean. He says he knows he'd be a champion whether it's Hangman Page or Adam Cole. But before his time in AEW is over, he will be world champion. I think that would be good for wrestling as a whole to have someone like Punk as a champion. Anyway, MJF, FTR, and Mark Sterling are backstage. MJ asked why Wardlow posters were everywhere, but he blows that off to talk about FTR and Shawn Spears' upcoming matches. And then Dax said that Wardlow is still their friend. MJF accused Wardlow of talking junk about him behind their back. MJF said the Pinnacle is always on top. FTR hesitantly agrees. Moxley defeats Jay Lethal. Not a bad match. I'm not a fan of Lethal. I never have been. I find him to be technically good, but no real character outside of doing comedy. Anyway, match starts off pretty heated from the beginning, and there are chants for both men because we don't have baby faces and heels anymore. Moxley goes after it early on and slaps his opponent across the face, leading to strike exchange, which looks kind of convoluted. Moxley then takes Lethal down with a shoulder tackle and a German suplex. He lands 10 punches in the corner, but Lethal pushes Moxley off, crouching him over the top rope. Lethal then follows up with a dive ahead of the commercial. Upon return, both men go into a crossbody, sends them crashing down. Fast-paced counter exchange, leading Moxley into landing a lariat. Lethal comes back with a lethal combination for near fall. They trade reversals again. Lethal fights out. Paragon shift. Moxley counters Lethal injection into a bulldog choke. Lethal counters out of it and hits a backbreaker. Follows up with a top rope elbow drop for good near fall. Post-match, the two of them shake hands. Hopefully this doesn't mean they dilute Moxley's stable with a guy like Lethal in it somewhere down the road. Anyway, video package airs for Marina Shafir showcasing her AEW Dark highlights. MJF joins commentary before the next match. FDR, Harwood, and Wheeler defeat the Gun Club, Austin, Colton Gunn. This wasn't that bad. The crowd chants for the Gun Boys, and the Gun Club is cocky early. Austin goes down with a couple of arm drags, and Colton goes down with a chop. Then the official is distracted by Billy, leaving Cash on the outside, allowing Gun Club to take control ahead of a commercial break. Once back, Cash then hits a back suplex. Colton cuts him off from reaching Dax for the tag, eventually making the tag to Dax, who comes in and takes over the Gun Club with the bunch of right hands. A short arm clothesline from Dax gets a near fall. Gun Club works together to counter a suplex, but cameras go backstage. Wardlow appears and destroys some security guards. He walks down the steps and manages to come back in. Back in the ring, Billy Gunn gets involved and counter sequence. FTR is able to hit the big rig for the win after the match. A confused FTR, is wondering what's going on, but MJF calms them down. Video promo hyping Powerhouse Hobbs and Keith Lee for Rampage. This is a good enough segment, and I actually look forward to that match. Jericho and Jericho Appreciation Society are backstage. He said that they're the most revolutionary force in sports entertainment. Everyone wants to join, but that's not going to happen. And he uses his new lame catchphrase. Garcia said the future endeavored the Dark Order and took Santana and Ortiz and Eddie Kingston out for good. Maynard then peeks from behind the curtain and says, just like last week, there's nobody there. Hager did the same thing. Kingston, Santana, and Ortiz were there, and the two groups brawled. Nah, this is too long and it's convoluted. Kingston drags Jericho out on the stage area and then into the ring. Jericho sized up the spinning back fist, then Santana Ortiz hit him with the street sweeper, but Jericho bails out and follows Garcia, locking Kingston in the Scorpion Deathlock as Jericho nails him with the bat. Jericho whips Kingston with the belt and then hits the Judas effect. Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling are backstage. They decide on Jade Cargill's 30th opponent, and Sterling brings out Leva Bates, but Jade says that's a joke. Sterling said the other option was Marina Shafir, but he wasn't confident about Jade, and Jade isn't phased with that. Then we go to William Regal joining commentary as Bryan Danielson defeats Wheeler Yuta. This is the best match for Yuta probably ever, and also a really good match for Danielson. Not a big surprise there. Technical chain wrestling throughout to start. Danielson has an upper hand. Yuta does match him move for move, proving that he has a good future. He lands kicks, but Yuta nails a running dropkick in the meantime here. And Danielson hits a bridging deathlock. Danielson then grabs the ropes before the commercial. We go back to a break, and then there's a reversal exchange with Yuta getting the better of nailing a German suplex, bridge for near fall. Danielson then comes back with a dragon suplex, bridging for a near fall of his own. He lands on the ground and pound and flips over into the cattle mutilation. Yuta reverses it and hits elbows and a cradle for near fall of his own. Danielson counters Yuta's next move and nails him with the Bushido knee, and then hits into Yuta's face, kicking his head in, and hits a gotch-style piledriver and locks on the label lock for the victory. Video promo hyping Darby Allin versus Andrade in the main event. I'm not sure why Andrade gets a main event on any national program, but hey, it is what it is. Undisputed Elite Championship celebration. Adam Cole and Red Dragon come out with the championship belts they stole last week. Cole said Hangman Page, Jungle Boy, and Luchasaurus aren't here tonight because they're ashamed. He said the belts aren't stolen because they're theirs. O'Reilly addresses the haters, but then he forgot what he's trying to say. Fish said that they were the three baddest guys in the company. Cole is about to cut the celebration off. Page's music hit, and he drives up in a Tesla with bullhorns. Before taking out the three men in the ring, he dispatches O'Reilly and Fish before hitting Cole with a fallaway slam. Page then sets up a buckshot, but Red Dragon pulls Cole out of the ring to save him. They return to the ramp, but Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage attack them and then brings them out into the ring. Cole avoids the buckshot, but it gets backdropped into Red Dragon on the outside. Women's champion Thunder Rosa is brought out by Tony Schiavone. Said it's a shame that her celebration last week is cut short, but she's the first ever Mexican-born world champion in history. She fought and clawed her way to the top to be the face of the division. Now she wants to be the face of all women's wrestling. People want to bring her down, but the foundations remain standing, and she will remain a foundation for the company. Rosa demanded Nyla Rose talk things out with words or fight in the ring. No matter what, Rosa will be there. Well deserved. Rosa is phenomenal here. Then we go to FTR's backstage. Crash said they'd win the ROH tag titles on Friday, and then the AEW tag titles down the road. Dax said that he's tired of waiting and issued a challenge to the Young Bucks to determine the greatest tag team of all time. I don't know that greatest tag team of all time is in the conversations, but anybody who thinks the Young Bucks are that obviously has some substance issues somewhere in their history. Owen Hart Foundation Tournament qualifier. Toni Storm defeats the Bunny. This is Storm's debut. She's now all elite after leaving WWE last year. They wrestle around starting. Storm hits a low drop kick for near fall. Bunny avoids a shoulder tackle and kicks Storm through the ropes before hitting a clothesline and leading into a commercial. Storm comes back with a lariat. She then catches thrust kick and hits her signature headbutt following a hip attack and big boot. Fisherman suplex. Bridge got a 2 count. Bunny then comes back with a power slam for a 2 count. She lands a thrust kick and then a second for a near fall. Storm then comes back. Storm 0 for the win and to qualify for the next round of the tournament. Anyway, Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero backstage. Vicky is hard to hear as she's not speaking directly into the microphone. Rose said she's day one of the company and deserves a title shot. Rampage for April Fool's Day. Keith Lee, Ricky Starks, or actually Keith Lee, Powerhouse Hobbs. Chris Statlander promo, Young Bucks, and Top Flight, Owen Hart Foundation Tournament qualifier. Jamie Hayter and Sky Blue. The women's match should be good. Keith Lee should be good. The rest of it, well, yeah. Anyway, Dynamite for 4-6. Tables match, Hardys and the Butcher and the Blade. No thank you. Men's and women's Owen Hart's tournament qualifier. They've been playing up the women's aspect. I had forgotten that there was a men's Owen Hart qualifier or tournament, but that I guess makes sense. Andrade El Idolo defeating Darby Allin. I'm not a fan of this at all. Andrade attacks before the bell, drops Darby face first into the timekeeper's table, sends Darby into the steps and drops him in the ringside area. He then plants him over the steps. Back in the ring, the official checked on Darby, but the match continues. Andrade lands double knees in the corner. Darby grabs the ropes. Back from commercial, Code Red from Darby brings separation between the two, and then there's strikes. They brawl with each other. They basically hit each other with a double down with double elbows. Darby then eventually makes his way to his feet and hits a float over Stunning for a near fall. Andrade returns fire and a backbreaker for a 2 count. They fight top rope where Darby hits a crucifix bomb locked on the Fujiwara armbar. Jose, the assistant, comes down and immediately intercepts Sting, Butcher, and Blade, attacking Sting, but Darby takes them out with a dive. Andrade hits a buckle spinebuster, ouch, and he gets a victory after the match. His group beats down on Darby and Sting. Private Party come out and make it 6-on-2 fight. Hardys come out and clear things off and hit a twist of fate and a swanton bomb on Mark Quinn to end the show. Overall, a better show than average, although where they place this stuff in main event, I don't really understand. We'll be back with more right after this.